This week, I've been spending time with the 2025 Lexus NX 450h Plus Luxury. The 450h is the plug-in hybrid variant of the NX. It gets about 37 miles of electric-only range. Then after that range is depleted, swaps over to a hybridized powertrain, 2.5-liter four-cylinder, same one found in the RAV4. This is actually just a RAV4 Prime in a suit. Price as tested for this NX is just shy of $67,000. If you remember correctly, in the beginning of the year, I actually reviewed the NX 350, which is just the regular hybridized version of this. So this review is going to be kind of similar to that one. Check out this beautiful nori green pearl paint. Doesn't really do it much justice since it's rain and it's cloudy, but I think it looks absolutely awesome. 20-inch wheels wrapped in all-season tires, tri-beam LED headlights, daytime running lights, fog lights, and LED turn lights as well. This little light turns on when you're making a turn so you can see better around corners. Really like the LED light bar that goes all the way across the back of this thing. Power liftgate as well. Pretty decent amount of room back here, a little bit less than what you would get in the RAV4. First aid kit over here, no spare tire unfortunately, but you do get your charging cable. No power folding second row, but you do get the 60/40 folding rear seats for some extra cargo space. Over here is your charge port, standard J1772 outlet to charge your 18.1 kilowatt hour battery. Takes about 4.5 hours to charge at home on a 240 outlet. All four doors have smart key access. These door handles aren't physical. They don't actually pull out. There's a button behind them that release an electronic latch so you can open it. This interior is beautiful. Nice white cream interior. Back here, I'm 6 foot, driver's seat's in my position. I got 0 headroom and about 3 or 4 inches of legroom. Couple vents, 12-volt outlet, couple USB-C ports, couple cup holders, nice panoramic sunroof as well. This NX is chocked full with options. Base price is about 63 grand, but like I said, as tested is just shy of 67 with all these options. You got the Mark Levinson sound system, crossbars, mudguards, panoramic sunroof. This has every single option you could think of. This back seat is very comfortable, super soft, no complaints at all. As a passenger back here, the only real main complaints I have about this car is this door latch system. There's no physical door handles, there's just these buttons to get out. Some people struggle to get out of this thing. I have found this week when I had passengers back here. In case the electronics don't work, you do have this manual latch that you have to yank twice in order for the door to open. I just wish it was just traditional door handles, but I guess they have to justify the high price tag of this thing somehow. So under the hood of the NX is a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated hybridized 4-cylinder mated to an eCVT. Makes a total combined power output of 304 horsepower. It's very quick. Gets about 36 combined MPG when it's on the gasoline only mode, but like I said earlier, gets about 37 miles of electric only range. So pretty efficient powertrain. Hopping into the driver's seat here, you're greeted with dual front heated and ventilated seats, both power, 3-person memory on the driver's side as well. Easy ingress here. Fully digital gauge cluster that's super customizable. A massive 14-inch infotainment with wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, 360 reverse cam as well. Lexus infotainment system here is really nice. No connectivity issues this week. Plenty of different features and stuff you can customize in here. It has ambient lighting. It's got a bunch of different colors you can customize. I think it's like 99 colors or something like that. You can ever so slightly see the blue just under the trim there, but it looks really, really sharp at night. This also does have like puddle lamps underneath that show the Lexus logo, if I remember correctly. Like I said, this NX is chocked full with options. Do have all your climate controls in the touchscreen, which I'm not a huge fan of, but at least there's quick access buttons for it. It could be worse. Automatic heated steering wheel, automatic heated and ventilated seats as well. I mean, you can manually control them. Coming down through here, you do get a wireless charger, and underneath the wireless charger is a couple USB-C ports and a 12-volt outlet, along with a little hidden compartment, so that's pretty cool. USB-C port there, USB-A port, some little storage, couple cup holders, decent size center console, decent size glove box as well. Auto dimming rear view mirror with home link, and it's digital as well. Illuminated visor mirrors. These materials are super nice, really nice stitching all across the interior. No squeaks, no rattles. It's a very nice, comfortable place to be. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and take this thing on the road. I'm sure I missed a few things, but I'll try to cover them as we go along the road. You get a heads-up display up there as well. Very bright and crisp. There's a few different drive modes you can choose from. Eco, Sport, and normal. I've just been driving it in normal mode all week. When you first get in this vehicle and start it up in the morning, it will default, if the battery is charged, to just EV mode. And then after that, it will change into hybrid. You can control that by pressing this button here. If you just want to save the battery for later and drive it as a hybrid, you can just press that button once. Won't deplete that 18.1 kilowatt hour battery. You can also charge that battery as well without plugging in at home, just by pressing and holding this button again down here. I find it nice to have the flexibility to do that, to get paddle shifters behind the wheel so you can control your CVT. Wish it controlled regen, but nope, you got 5 gears to control your CVT. Power delivery is super smooth. It's what you'd expect. So you do get that signature Toyota drone from this engine. You won't hear much of it because that 37 miles of electric only range does help a bit, but once that's out, I wish there was a little bit more refinement from this engine. Really like the inputs of this vehicle. I mean, pretty much all Lexus Toyota vehicles, I say that on every single one I review. Everything's within the driver's reach. Everything just makes sense. On this bumpier section of road here, even though this thing has 20-inch wheels, it rides super well. Just hardly any reverberations throughout the cabin every time you hit a bump. It's a very nice, cushy ride. Very, very acceptable for its class. Handling, just like the NX 350, is not a showstopper. It's fine as a commuter, but you know, it's nothing to write home about, but that's okay. On my gauge cluster here on the left, you can see the charging level for the onboard battery, and on the right, you can see your fuel level. Clear instrumentation. I wish the screen in the middle got a little bit brighter. You do have physical controls over here to control that, but sometimes in the daylight, it can get kind of dim and hard to see. These seats are so nice. Ventilation works well. Brake pedal feels good as well. The NX 350 I tested earlier this year had that weird, you know, it was regen for the first portion of it, then actual brake for the last portion. It wasn't a very progressive pedal. Did not like it. This has no problems at all. We'll go over this bridge up here in railroad tracks at a good clip. See how it feels and sounds. No problem. Very, very acceptable for the class. Now it's time to merge onto the highway here. All right, let's go. Lots of wheel spin. This thing's quick. It is very quick. Here on the highway, you do get Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, lane tracing assist, adaptive cruise control, pretty easy to engage. Works well, keeps you centered in your lane. I think my biggest complaint about this vehicle is these little haptic controls here. You don't know what they do until you rest your hands on them and it pops up in the either the gauge cluster or the heads-up display of what they do. And that's extremely distracting because if you're at 9 and 3 or 10 and 2 and you're going around a corner and your palm kind of hits this little touchpad, it pops up in the heads-up display and really takes your focus off the road. I do not like that at all. I wish there were actually labeled functions here. There's even different pages you can choose from here to make the functions completely different on each button press of what these are. Hopefully that made sense. Visibility is okay. These pillars do get kind of thick, but you do have these little cutout windows to help out. Rear window visibility is good as well. Broke the tires loose there. You get blind spot monitoring in the mirrors. I did forget to mention this NX is all-wheel drive. I believe the NX hybrid versions come standard in all-wheel drive. You do have 2 other gas powertrains you can choose from as well. I would honestly just swing for the hybrid powertrain, and not even this one, not the plug-in hybrid version of this, but just the hybrid powertrain. just for cost reasons. Which I guess we should get into that. $67,000 for this. Yikes. That is a lot of money to ask for this. I personally, in my opinion, would swing for the hybridized version of this and save, I don't know, the $15,000 it would cost to have the premium of this plug-in hybrid powertrain. I mean, yeah, the extra power is nice, but it's not worth the price in my opinion. But like the 350, it's nice and quiet on the highway, nice and smooth. There's a bit of wind noise from the roof racks, but that's just because of the roof. It has roof racks on it. This does have a, I think, 17 speaker Mark Levinson sound system equipped. And honestly, it's not my favorite. I would rate it probably a, I think I rated the NX 350 a high or a low A tier. I think I would honestly downgrade it just a little bit and just say a high B tier. Not the best. I mean, especially for 67 grand. You can EQ it out and make it sound okay, but out of the box, it's not the greatest, I've heard. I don't know if I would opt for it over the base sound system, is I guess what I'm trying to get at. I like the throttle response on all these Toyota hybrid products. And you just put your foot down and like instant acceleration. I love it. Let's put this in EV mode here. Let's see what the acceleration is on just the EV. That's floored. Not a bad amount of acceleration. Enough to putz you around town just fine. But it's not going to knock your socks off. If you just switch it to auto EV/HV, if you press the throttle down far enough and the electric motors can't give you enough power, it will automatically engage the hybrid engine. Just absolutely haul you down the road. Let me know what you guys think in the comments of the 450h compared to the 350. Do you think it's worth it to spring for the plug-in hybrid variant or not? I'm curious. Shout out to Lexus for providing this vehicle for me to film this week. Thank you so much. There is one thing I do want to test in this parking lot here, and it's an option. It's this like advanced park assist. Let's go ahead and hit this button here. I'll probably have to be stopped. All right. Yes, we hit that button. I want to back into the parking space. I want in the back, actually I'm gonna drive forward because I do not want to smash a pole with this thing. I'm sure Lexus would not be happy. Let's choose this space here and hit start. Release brake to move. Let's let it do its thing. This is so cool. Obviously, I think people would be pretty ticked off behind me taking forever to do this, but hey, if you're in a pinch, you don't feel comfortable doing it, this thing can do it itself. Look at that. That's pretty cool. It can also do parallel parking as well. I think I would use the parallel parking because I suck at that, but very neat feature. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for the review. Let's go take one more look around it real fast. I think the roof racks make it look a little bit more sporty, a little nicer. Wheels look sharp as well. We're nearing 20,000 subscribers, guys. I'm super excited about that. Never thought I would get this big. Thank you guys for all your support, your comments, your likes. It's greatly appreciated. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll go ahead and see ya in the next video. Take care, everybody.